Happy Fragrant Friday for Raghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new, Crystal Lake got it this week, review. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well, my friends. Happy Fragrant Friday, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. You have seen the title and the description, so you know I'm checking out none other than hashtag mainstream. That Cologne Guy is going mainstream this week. Versace Dylan Blue. If you saw my episode last week, you know in the bonus feature, I did an unboxing from a nice package that I got from Dr. Goo over at Locked Scents. He sent me a package of a bunch of samples, and I'm going to be reviewing them over the next few weeks. I'm really looking forward to it. Here's how we did it. He reached out, said he wanted to send some, and I sent him a screenshot of my wardrobe in Fragrantica. There's one shelf where it says fragrances that I want, and he just looked at the ones I wanted and anything that I wanted, and he sent. He is just that kind of guy. He's a really great guy. Make sure that you subscribe to his channel if you have not already. I will put his channel in the description box. So, I started off with this one on purpose, though, because Versace Dylan Blue was one fragrance that many subscribers have reached out over the years and told me I definitely need to try. You know, this is going to be a review that really focuses on the classification of the fragrance. I know sometimes people don't really care about what kind of fragrance it is, but I think this one matters. And the year, so we're going to showcase this fragrance. I'll review it, but I'm also going to make sure that I put it in a particular context so you see a possible reason why it was released. A possible, what do I know? But I just enjoy looking into these things and imagining why Versace put out a fragrance like this one. Well, one reason we know, this is mainstream. This is one of the fragrances that are going to be put out for crowd getting, compliment, a crowd pleaser, compliment getting, these kinds of fragrances. I've mentioned it before, but there really are two camps, aren't there? In FragCom, there are people who like what they like. They want it to be highly original. They love talking about different notes and how original a particular fragrance is, and they'll even tell you, I don't care if other people can smell it. I don't care how long it lasts. If I like it on me, that's all that matters. And they're constantly looking for fragrances that are immensely unique, cutting edge, and original, which is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. In fact, on my channel, I really have enjoyed my reviews over the years of those kinds of fragrances. The other camp, of course, is I just want to get noticed, get attention, and get compliments, or maybe it's even as simple as I just want to wear something that my partner absolutely adores on me, okay? And so these tend to be relegated to terms like crowd pleasers or mainstream, compliment getters, lady killers, whatever terms you want to use, but that tends to be the other camp. Right, and I actually don't frown on that. I like both styles, both camps. I've reviewed many. In fact, I was just thinking about this earlier. I've given my top rating, which is the elusive 6 out of 5 sprays, the bonus spray. I have only done that twice. One was Jubilation 25 by Amouage, which, of course, very, very original fragrance. That would be over in this camp of this camp of like highly original and unique notes. Tons of notes in that one. And then the other side, I've also given a 6 out of 5, a perfect score for Acqua di Gio. So that's about as mainstream and compliment getting as you can get. So you can see here, I hold both camps on the same level. I don't understand why there has to be friction, because I like what I like. If it just so happens to be mainstream, great. Maybe I like it because it's incredibly unique, and I certainly respect that. So on this channel, we hold them on the same level. This one is a mainstream compliment getter, no doubt about it. Versace, of course, was probably trying to generate sales. This is a great gift to give, and I don't fault them for that. Let's talk about the notes, though, and let's get down to business here. This is a 2016 release from, Alberto Morillas. That's going to be even more relevant in a minute. You guys know he's my favorite parfumé anyway. That's going to be more relevant. So I pick up, you certainly in the initial blast get bergamot and grapefruit, no doubt, then violet leaf, and then in the base, though, you get incense and musk, and the ambroxan really comes in. If I had to use, I guess, one expression for this one, I would use ambroxan bomb. I find this one to be very, very heavy on ambroxan. In fact, so heavy that I did not pick up tonka bean, and it was listed. Tonka bean is one of my favorite notes, and it was not. I didn't pick it up. I feel like the ambroxan kind of drowns that out. A little heavy on the ambroxan here, if you like that. So 2016. Alberto Morillas, those are the notes, but this is an aromatic fougere. And why does that matter? So, many in my episodes, it's more like the smell itself or the actual notes. I do think, though, this one does matter. This one is an aromatic fougere. You guys know that fougere is French for fern or fern-like. And so probably because of the violet leaf coming in and patchouli. And so this one, that's the classification of it. Why does that matter? I'm going to be looking at my notes, all right? So I do have a cheat sheet. I want you to know that. I'm not a script person, right? So if you're going to fault me for having notes, give me some props and kudos because I do these things on the fly. So in 2010, Bleu de Chanel came out, which is a woody aromatic. I like Bleu de Chanel. I like Bleu de Chanel, EDT and the EDP. I don't find it to be too much of the toilet bowl cleaner complaint. It's very, very fresh. It's very out of the shower, clean, crisp, masculine. It works for me. Then in 2015, okay, notice that. In 2015, Alberto Morillas, by the way, put out Acqua di Gio Profumo, which is also a woody aromatic. So the plot thickens. Because you guys know, I'll just say real quick, I like Acqua di Gio, the original. I don't dislike Profumo. I just don't think it's really that needed. That's just me. In fact, Acqua di Gio Profumo was probably put out possibly because of the success of Bleu de Chanel. See, this is all VIP stuff that, usually I relegate this knowledge for my Patreon members only. That said, I don't have Patreon. So anyway, 2015, Acqua di Gio Profumo. Then you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute. I think I know that year for another one, and you are correct. Guess what came out in 2015 that smells similar, kind of, in Johnny Depp's The Model? You secretly hate it, but you probably have it anyway? Correct. That would be Sauvage by Dior. So I'll just tell you, I do think that one has a toilet bowl cleaner effect. I don't care for Sauvage, so you should know that. I wish I did. If I liked Sauvage and if I liked Spice Bomb, my channel would probably do better, and I would get more, ratings and views and clicks and all this. I don't like them. I don't like Sauvage. 2015, and that one is, by the way, an aromatic fougere. So guess what? 1 year later, Alberto Morillas puts out Versace Dylan Blue, which is also an aromatic fougere that smells similar. So here's what I think is, one comment, and then here's what I think is happening after that. The comment is, this is not a dupe of anything, but it's kind of a mesh, a combination of Acqua di Gio Profumo, Sauvage, and Bleu de Chanel. I don't think that's anything revolutionary to say. It clearly is. I think the most important thing you would want to get from it is I wouldn't say that it's a dupe of any of the three, but it's a combination of them. Here's what I think's happening, right? If you notice that Sauvage was an aromatic fougere that did very, very well, and the next year he puts out Alberto Morillas puts out Versace Dylan Blue, which is similar to his previous work, of Acqua di Gio Profumo, only it's a different classification. See what's happening here? So, whether or not maybe he had to, maybe Versace called him and said, put something out that we need to ride the coattails of Sauvage, so put something out. He had the DNA already locked in place of Acqua di Gio Profumo and felt like it was obviously wildly successful. So then he went and just altered it enough to change the classification to an aromatic fougere, and certainly the incense and musk points towards Acqua di Gio Profumo, no doubt. But then the other notes also point towards Sauvage. So whether or not they called to say put something out that's going to generate sales, or maybe it was the final work he did for Versace to get out of his contract. We will never, ever truly know. But what we do know is that it's an interesting layout, isn't it? 2010, there's a woody aromatic comes out. Then he does the Acqua di Gio Profumo 5 years later. Then we have Sauvage come out. This is an aromatic fougere. And then the next year he puts out this. So, bottom line, if all this is too geeky or the terminology is, if you feel like I'm spending too much time on that, bottom line is this. This is not a dupe of any of the three, or a clone of any of the three I've mentioned. It's a combination of the three. That's the good news. Obviously, the bad news is, it's not a terribly original fragrance, but hey, many people in the market are not going to care. If they want to go to happy hours and clubbing, and they want to get compliments from the ladies, they're going to go with stuff like this. They're not going to go for the Belgium syrup fragrances. They're just not going to do that. And that's why these fragrances are detested by Fragcom, because a lot of Fragcom people are very passionate about originality in certain note combinations that have never been seen before. I really admire that. I just want to say that it doesn't have to always be that way. It does take a certain talent to create something that a lot of people are entranced by and walk up to you and say, "Oh my God, what are you wearing?" Okay, so there's something to be said about that, and you just need to know, what the target audience is. If you are a big time collector and you want something highly original, I would say take a pass on this. If if you're like, dude, I'm actually watching this at 2 a.m. In Topeka, Kansas, because I'm trying to find frantically something that will garner attention from the ladies, where they will walk up to me and say, "Oh my God, tell me now what you're wearing," then this is going to be a success for you. Okay, so it's kind of that simple. Let's get to longevity, projection, and sillage. Good news abounds. In fact, I actually stopped recording the first time and wanted to double check that this wasn't an EDP. This actually functions quite well, almost like a eau de parfum. And it's not. It's an EDT, but longevity was 6 to 8 hours, actually closer to 8. So you're going to get a work shift out of this. If you put this on at 5:30 in the evening, you want to go to happy hours and clubbing and stuff, it will make it well past midnight. The question is, will you make it well past midnight? So very good news. Longevity was great. Projection is also great. We're looking at 4 to 8. 4 hours, though, projects from arm's length away, and then it starts to taper down. That's on skin, though, so if you spray on your clothes, you're looking at a solid 8, 9, 10 hours, which is great news. I will say there's an asterisk, though. I did read last night. I did read one commenter said that he just got it in 2022, and it did not last. So maybe there's a reformulation of this. I don't know. I can only tell you this did well, and it projects quite well indeed. It does what it purports to do, right? So, which is get attention. Sillage is also right on par for what you would want. Coming out of rooms, if you're at a house party and or at a club and you're walking by people, if you're at a bar and you're ordering a drink and there are 2 or 3 women next to you and you're saying, "Excuse me, I need to order a drink here," and you're waiting for the bartender to come to you, you are definitely, will you leave a scent trail? You will definitely leave. When you take those drinks away and walk away, they're probably going to come after you and say, "What are you wearing?" So sillage is also good. Great news for all 3 categories. So much so, again, that I almost thought it was an EDP. When it comes to gender, this one for me is another. I've said this once before. I'm going to say it again. This is an 85-15 split. What I mean by that is 85% of the people who want this have it as their signature scent, got it as a gift because they wanted it, are going to be men, and 15% will be women. And I would even say the 15% that are women, I think a lot of women would have something like this secretly in their collection just to remind themselves of their man. It is one of those fragrances. It's clean, it's crisp, it's masculine, it is out of the shower. Modern. When I say masculine, it's not the hairy chest, muscle shirt, gold chains of the 70s and early 80s. It's not the in-your-face masculinity. It's a modern masculinity. And so I would say that it's something along the lines of a dress shirt, very well ironed, and she's smelling the collar. It's one of those fragrances. So it'd be perfect for work. I mean, I get look, the mainstream ones again are not popular among frag heads sometimes, and it's. But the problem is that these are, the problem for them is that these are highly versatile fragrances. They smell great, people love them, and they're highly versatile. So you could wear this one to work, and it's going to get you a work shift, and then you could also wear this after work when you go out to happy hour, clubbing, etc. It's going to be great. I mean, what's wrong with that? And the answer is absolutely nothing. So that's going to be the 85-15 split. Now, when I talk about age, here's what I'm going to say on age. To me, it has enough incense and musk in it that's going to catapult it up to the 25 and up range. I don't know too many high schoolers or even maybe college students would be rocking this juice, but I think I do see this as like the first paid internship, first car, first apartment. You're getting out on your own, those kinds of years. And so I'm going to say as soon as work's over, you're heading out with your coworkers for happy hour and then off to the clubs till 2 a.m. This kind of fragrance. So I'm going to say 25 and up on age. So just to come full circle on the versatility, you could definitely wear this to work. You could definitely wear this at night. Day night, it's a split for me. And I'm going to, you know what? I even in my notes, I talk about season, and I'm going to wave the white flag on seasons. To me, this is just too close to 365 days a year. I can't genuinely say that I would prefer this for one season over the other. I really can't. That's why I like these kinds of fragrances. This is definitely for the guy who, maybe he wants to wear something that his wife will love. And he doesn't have a collection at all. This would be a great gift for him, or if your collection is small, but you just want to wear something great at any given time, and you don't care about seasons or dress code or anything like that. This would be a great choice for you. It's a kind of a no-lose proposition, other than with the one caveat that, of course, if you are a frag head that demands high originality, this is just simply not for you. So those are the seasons. I mean, it's just highly versatile. So it's gonna be great for day, night, 365 days a year. In the event, t-shirt, hoodie, tux, coat, suit, you name it. This is going to do great. I mean, go to the beach all day and then put this on right before, having some drinks at the hotel lobby. Sure. Deep in the heart of winter in northern Finland. Absolutely. So, you got to tip your cap to Alberto Morillas in that regard. So there you have it. This is going to be an aromatic fougere, a 2016 release that you really can see definite connections to the parfumé as well as the timeline involved. So I did mention earlier that this was sent in to me by Dr. Gu at Locked Scents, and I did sear through this one this week, and that'll probably be the case for upcoming ones. So these are going to be faux sprays on me for my rating system. My rating system is very, very well, my rating here is very, very clear this week. This is an easy one. This is a 4 out of 5 sprays for me. Definitely an easy one because I have to dock one spray for originality. As much as it hurts me to do that to Alberto Morillas himself, this one is not a highly original. Probably doesn't purport to be. It's just to generate sales and get lots of compliments. Nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't hit the 5 out of 5 when it comes to my rating, simply because of lack of originality. Other than that, though, man, I mean, it's a great bottle. It lasts a long time. It smells fantastic. If the synthetic ambroxan doesn't work for you, again, it's just not an original fragrance, but that's okay. 4 out of 5, 1 on each wrist and 1 on each side of the neck. Remember, these are faux sprays, though. Boom. 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 And boom. All right, so there you have it. I've really enjoyed wearing this. I would definitely get a bottle of this. Of the 4, you guys know I don't care for Sauvage. I don't want it in my collection. And no, it doesn't have anything. I'm not jealous because it's Johnny Depp. I just don't like the fragrance. It's a toilet bowl cleaner for me. Sacrilegious to say, I know. Bleu de Chanel, I do like. And Acqua di Gio Profumo, I'm not a huge fan. So for me, I would say this one comes down to this or Bleu de Chanel. I do prefer Bleu de Chanel slightly more for 2 reasons. I like the actual fragrance just a little bit more, and I also like the fact that it came out before different classification, of course, but it was kind of the front runner, the trailblazer of these 4, wasn't it? It was the original one, and so I do want to pay homage to that. If I had a choice, and if I only had money for one, I would go Bleu de Chanel, but I've never owned a bottle of it, and so I will say, if in the off chance that the longevity is horrific for that one, you guys can let me know. I don't think it is, but if Chanel Bleu de Chanel is horrific in terms of longevity, then I would absolutely turn to something like this one. Either way, I would definitely have it in my collection. If I got it as a gift or if I found it really, really cheap at discounters, I would jump at the chance to have something like this in my collection because you can really never go wrong with a crowd pleaser or a lady killer or a compliment getter or hashtag mainstream, whatever you want to say. So 4 out of 5, easy one, 2016, the man, not the myth, Alberto Morillas. I really enjoyed kicking off the package with this review. I've enjoyed wearing it. My scent of the day, actually, though, is the last day I'm gonna wear this one is Burberry London. I just absolutely love that fragrance for the holidays, and for the winter, and it's time to put that one away. So this is the final day I'm wearing Burberry London when I am out of the review juice. So there you have it, another review by the boards. Thanks so much for staying to the end. I really appreciate it. And always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Okay, so welcome to the bonus feature of this episode. The astute horror film viewer will have noticed in the beginning, you know how I always start off by saying, coming at you with a new, sometimes I'll say a place that is a subscriber is from, and other times it will be 100% random. In this particular episode, of course, I did a wink and a nod to Crystal Lake, and therefore to Jason Voorhees. For the horror film fans out there, today, of course, is Friday the 13th. So we can't help but celebrate and wish you a happy Friday the 13th. If you are in another country and you're not really sure what the reference is, because in other countries, other languages, it's actually a different day and date. So Friday the 13th, of course, is a day that in theory brings bad luck for the superstitious, but really for horror film fans, it's one of the greatest films of all time. Friday the 13th, of course, the series that was the number one series in terms of sales for horror films until Saw came out. So I think there are 12, and of course they have said that they're going to do You guessed it, 13 Friday the 13th eventually. So today is Friday the 13th, and you're probably asking yourself, you know what, if you like horror films so much, then why haven't you done a what would Jason Voorhees wear? What fragrance would Jason Voorhees wear? And I have. So I'll put the card up in your upper right. You'll see the episode that I did on what Jason Voorhees would wear, what fragrance he would splash on each morning. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then of course the series is a scary movie. You guys know him as it's the scary guy with the hockey mask. That's all you need to know if you are not a scary movie fan. And if you are, make sure you especially enjoy watching any of the 12 Friday the 13th out there tonight. In fact, let me know which one is your favorite, if you have seen them all or whatever. And if not, let me know what horror film you might watch on Friday the 13th tonight. So happy Friday the 13th. And of course, we have to end in only one way. Take care, everybody.